Okay, welcome to Soulfinger Fitness. I am your instructor, Lola Soulfinger. Hold the applause. Today in our first lesson, what we are going to go over is yoga. I'm going to go over 3 of my favorite yoga poses. Now there are very different kinds of yoga. You can do Bikram yoga, which is also known as hot yoga, where you are in a room that's over 80 degrees and you're doing that for the sweating to lose calories. Today we're going to do a couple of my favorite poses in the Yoga for Meditation series. We're going to go over the Proud Warrior, which is my favorite. We're going to do Downward Facing Dog, and we are also going to do the Triangle Pose. If you are a beginner, you may want to use a few props to make the poses easy, and I'm going to show you what I have right here. You can go to any Walmart or any store that sells athletic equipment. Get you a couple of standard size yoga blocks. These will make some of the poses, as I'm going to demonstrate in a few minutes, a little easier. You also want to get you a yoga strap. This will help pull on any leg or any limb that's not as flexible as you need it to help you get the bend and get into the correct position. You might want to get a yoga strap. Also, these are sold together at Walmart for $15. You get 2 blocks and a strap. And then also you're going to just want any old basic exercise mat, which I'm going to go ahead and roll out now. And we're going to go into our first pose today, which is called, there's different names for this. This could be Warrior 2 or Proud Warrior. I call it Warrior 2. Also, one more thing to mention. Yoga, while it is mostly stretching, it is still good to do a warm-up. So you want to warm up your muscles for about 10 to 15 minutes, any type of stretching. And actually, I'll have another video coming out soon about the proper warm-up techniques. But right now, I'm going to go ahead and just assume you guys have done a little bit of stretching. You got your limbs nice and limb. We're going to go right on ahead into Proud Warrior. I'm going to adjust the screen a little bit so you guys can see my feet. Okay. Now, normally when you're performing any type of yoga pose, you want bare feet. But for now, I'm going to use my sneakers that have the cleats on it so I don't slip and slide and I can give you the correct position. Now, if you can't see my face, that's okay, because right now I want you guys to focus on my legs and my feet. Proud Warrior, okay? You begin in standing pose and jump your legs, shoulder legs apart, okay? Now, whichever direction you can go into first, you're going to have, I'm going to do right first. So we're going to have our left leg, bring that out a little further than shoulder, and take that right leg, and we're going to turn it toward the right. Now, it's very important that you follow this next step here. We are going to go into a bend, lean forward. Now, you don't want to lean to where your knee is above your ankle, or behind your ankle. You want your knee perfectly lined up with your ankle. So this is going to be a perfect 90-degree angle pretty much right here. So let me go ahead and get into the correct stance and then I'll tell you a little bit more about it. So, get that bend. This is going to stretch your inner leg here. This leg should be perfectly still, and you don't want to lock your knee too hard, but you do want this to be your holding leg. So you get that leg nice and straight, that leg bent down, get a little further, and anytime you want to go further, and if your knee moves ahead of your ankle, then you want to move this leg out. And you want to get yourself until you're at a good position, you feel the stretch. Okay, you're going to drop your shoulders, inhale, and bring arms out to the side. And now you see why this is called the Proud Warrior, because don't you kind of look like you're a warrior? Now, this is a stretch that you're going to hold for about maybe 30 seconds in the beginning, then you go 60, and as you get further along in your training, you can hold this pose longer. So once you get it correct, get your knees straight, you feel the stretch, arms out straight, and lengthen your arms, which means pull them all the way out, hold in your stomach, and then you're going to look toward the bent leg. So I'm going to look toward my right shoulder, and then you hold Warrior 2. And this is the finished product. Now, within the first few seconds of holding this pose, you should begin to feel the burn here. And if this pose is not hard enough for you, there are also other variations. You can use 2-pound weighted balls, and you can get back into your position, and you hold the balls in your hand. That will also give you a little bit more of a workout in your upper body, as well as, you know, putting a little bit more pressure on the leg, giving you a better stretch. Okay? So if you have any questions on Warrior 2, I would definitely like to go over that with you. You can email me at Soulfinger, SOULFINGERR @gmail.com, or you can just leave a comment under this video. All right, one more time. Finished product, Warrior 2. Okay? Next, we are going to go into the triangle pose. Triangle pose is a little bit more difficult, so I'm going to go ahead and grab one of my blocks. I'm going to show you how it looks first, before the variation, and then after. So if you're a little bit more advanced like I am, you might not need the block. So once again, we're going to put ourselves into our standing position with legs approximately shoulder width apart, maybe a little bit more. We are going to turn our body into a triangle. Arms up, and what you're going to do is reach as far down as you can. Now my hand is actually touching the ground. I'm holding this stretch. But if you find that you cannot get your hand to touch the ground, then you go ahead and grab yourself your yoga block, put it behind your right leg, since we're bending to the right, put it behind your right leg, and bam. Now your hand is on the block. And you can get yourself a stretch. You can lower the block anyway as much as you need it. You can stand the block up vertically if you need a little bit more stretch. And this is really good. This is going to open up that rib cage. This is going to stretch your arms. And also, when you're pulling your arms, you're going to lengthen your arms, which means reach all the way to the sky. And this is a great pose here for relaxation, for meditation. This relieves stress, and this is a really good warm-up stretch to use prior to a workout. This is triangle pose. And triangle pose is not as technical as the warrior, where you have to watch your knees as much. You just pretty much get down into your triangle and hold the pose as long as you can. And then you come up, arms in, arms down, and you move your block to the other side if you still need it. And enter triangle pose is done. Now move off camera here, so here we go. And enter triangle pose. And this is good, again, to hold for maybe 30 seconds in the beginning, and you can increase your time as you get a little better. Okay? That is triangle pose. We're going to do one more pose, and this one is down on the floor. So if you have your mat out, go ahead and get down. I'm going to show you the proper way to lower yourself down to the ground for any type of yoga techniques. You're going to lower yourself on your mat. Drop down to your knees. Flatten your feet. This is also called sitting pose. You begin in sitting pose. What we're going to do is lean forward now. Put your hands down at the top of the mat. Point those toes. And push up. And let me get myself centered here so I'm on camera. There we go. Arms shoulder width apart. Legs together. Toes together. And you're pushing your butt. Now, see your butt here's up. You're going to push that butt all the way up to the sky. How far can you get it? Push it all the way up. Suck your stomach in and, make sure you brace your abs and you breathe in and breathe out. Now, once you get this pose, this is very good to hold. And also, if you want to stretch your calves a little bit more, what you can do is you lower your feet a little bit. I feel that right there. You lower your feet. And if the stretch is any easier, if it's too hard for you pretty much, then you can move it in a little so you don't have that much stretch, but it's not that hard for me, so I'm going to go ahead and do it as best as I can here. And this is very good for upper body. This is also great for relaxation. This helps the blood flow completely through the body. And it's a great stress reliever after a long day of work, dealing with the kids. And to exit downward facing dog, bring yourself down on your knees, release your feet, and walk your hands back to sitting pose. Okay, so today we've learned Proud Warrior, also known as Warrior 2. We learned the triangle pose, both with the block and without, and we also learned downward facing dog. So if you keep these up, do them for maybe, I would say, no less than 30 seconds to a minute. Even a beginner, I'm sure, can do those for a minute. You hold those poses, and in no time, you will be a lot more flexible and looking great like me. So join Soulfinger Fitness for your next video, and we'll be looking forward to seeing you. Namaste.